Hey, hi, welcome to the series of Automotive Spice sessions. I am Tota Krishna Hema, your Automotive Spice expert. So today I'm going to discuss with you an interesting topic, which is most awaiting topic from most of our viewers. So that is Automotive Spice Assessment. So let us get into the more details of this session. So what does the automotive spice speaks about is it has five levels are capability levels. Level 0 is incomplete. So when you don't have any system or any systematic approach to in place to achieve the purpose, then it is called as incomplete. So level 1 is performed. So if you have process in place which achieves its purpose, then it is level 1. So what about level 2 is level 2 is called as managed. So if you implement process in a managed way, like planning, monitoring, adjusting its work products in order to establish, control and maintain. The maintenance is documentation of the process is called managed. So here you can see a project is some of the projects in your organization is achieving its purpose kind of. So what about level 3? It is called as established. It is nothing but standardization of the process. So you are gonna maintain one single process across your organization. So it is nothing but standardizing this defined process. Here you can see consistency across your projects. So you all of your projects you can start seeing there is a maintenance of project quality. This talks about the competence, roles, responsibilities of the people, infrastructure, work environment of the environment, like wherever the work is carrying out, in methods and measures. So here the metrics part comes into the picture. You are going to define the metrics and you're going to track the metrics, but you will tailor your standard processes based on your project, and there will be a feedback mechanism from the client on and even the internal customers, like if the support team like HR or any other functions like facilities or these kind of groups will ask for the internal customer feedback and even the external customer feedback for the projects we deliver to the external people like customers. And we will have an audit system in place, internal auditing, everything will be in place. So everything will happen in a particular frequency and across the organization. So what about level 4 is a predictable. Predictable is somewhat, it says like it is within defined limits. So process here, the process operates predictively within defined limits to achieve its outcomes. So here we can say it is quantitative management. So quantitative management needs an identification of the measurement data collection, analysis, cause of variance or causal analysis we can say, or RCA, and corrective action related to the deviation will come into the picture in case of level 4. So you can predict and you can control the process within the limits. So what about innovation is adapting to the new changes which are about to come in your business or to your organization. So you will have to see after prediction, so you have to improve continually and with alignment of the changes which will come into the in future goals. Also you need to address everything. So innovation is nothing but like it's a continual improvement phase. So this is how the entire capability levels talks about. So how the assessment percentages or the rating will be there. So we have 4 different rating mechanisms. So that's called NPLF. N is not achieved, P is partially achieved, L is largely achieved, F is fully achieved. So not achieved is 0 to 15%, partially achieved is 15 to 50%, and largely achieved is 50 to 85%, and fully achieved is 85 to 100%. So here so many people ask me how you can rate NPLF. So if you are an auditor, so based on your perspective, audit is independent activity. So for me, it sounds like N. Okay, if I rate the particular best practice or the generic practice in between 0 to 15, let us say 10%. So by providing a proper evidence, so I have observed that this particular base practice is not achieved because is not achieved completely, then I can rate in between 0 to 15%, which is N. So if if the other auditor comes and says like it is partially achieved, so he or she might have seen some of the evidences which are supporting this particular base practice. Generally it won't happen most of the cases, so the auditor will rate the similar kind of percentages. So you may observe a little 5% of variation in between 5% to 10% of variation in between the assessors, but not so high. So this is how it is. So it is completely independent of the assessor choice. This is the assessment sample which I have I just noted some of the process areas here. So I just picked one from management, project management, man 3, and SWAY 4, SWAY 1, software requirement analysis, SUP 1, quality assurance, and acquisition ACQ 4 I have taken, supply monitoring. So if you see this PA 1.1 is your base practices, 1.1 we say like it is base practices, and PA 2.1 onwards the generic practices starts. So if F or F fully achieved, so if you see this the first man 3 or the project management, you can see 1.1 is rated as fully achieved, 2.1 is rated as fully achieved, and 2.2 is rated as largely achieved. And then 3.1 is partially achieved. So till what extent L is marked? So F is the first criteria, so L is marked, so this is level 2. And if you see the example, SWAY 1, it is marked as level 3 because all the PA 1.1, PA 2.1, PA 2.2 exhibited fully achieved, and 3.1 is largely achieved. So till 2.1 it is fully achieved, so it is in level 3. So if you take the previous one, so it is fully achieved till level 2, so it is marked as level 2. And if you see this quality assurance or SUP1 sample, it is largely achieved in case of 1.1, and it is partially achieved in case of 2.1, so it is marked as level 1. So in case of ACQ4, it is marked as level 0 because it has not exhibited any of the adherence. It is partially achieved in case of PA 1.1. So I hope you have understood whatever the explanation which is given here. Our ASPICE assessment will happen in 3 different steps. First thing is we need to plan the assessment. The second thing is when we need to conduct the assessment, and third one is we need to prepare the report and share it with the auditee. So the first thing is like we need to plan the assessment in by sending a formal calendar invite to the auditee. And the second thing is we need to conduct assessment. So for that, like we need some preparation time. So that's when the project manager or the auditee will send this documents, or he will provide access, temporary access to the configuration management tool to go through the documents. And during assessment we need to interview, as an assessor we need to interview the auditee, and we need to record the responses from the auditee. And even the best practice is we need to note down the adherence part and the non-adherence part of the base practice or the generic practice. So how we may forget after some time, like how it is achieved means we won't have any answer. So that's why I recommend like to document everything inside the assessment report itself. So the last thing is we need to prepare the assessment report and share it with the auditee. Auditee will come up with the correction and deadlines also for the correction and corrective action as well. So once the auditor receives the assessment report with the correction and corrective actions and the respective deadlines, so on the deadline date, the auditor will go and ensure, assessor will go and ensure that that particular issue or the finding or the gap, okay, it is closed or not, we will ensure on. This is how the assessment will carry out with the percentages and PLF rating and the levels, which is auto generated, so with the formula. But however, I try to explain it in with a sample. So thanks for your time. Hope you understood everything. So if you have any doubts, you can write to me in my email. Thank you.